Of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and also the most important one for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Harris will give her nomination acceptance speech tonight, with the Wisconsin delegation having some of the best seats at the United Center to watch everything unfold. Chief political reporter Jason Zimmerman is here with a preview. He's live in Chicago with Your Voice, Your Vote coverage. Jason.
Cami, a lot of activity taking place right now inside the United Center as delegates begin to take their seats for tonight's programming, which includes an acceptance speech by Vice President Kamala Harris. We also wanted to show you the view that those from Wisconsin will have. While most of the country will be watching from a television screen when Vice President Kamala Harris takes the stage, delegates like Ann Jacobs from Wisconsin couldn't get much closer, telling us she is super excited with big expectations for what's likely to be said.
Her vision, what direction she wants to see things go. I think it's her opportunity to tell all of us here and all of the folks watching at home what that Harris administration is going to look like, and I think she's going to knock it out of the park.
Being a key battleground state, this is how close the Wisconsin delegation is to the stage. They'll be watching Vice President Harris when she makes her address Thursday night from just a few feet away. However, outside the arena, thousands of protesters are expected, which has been the case for the convention all week. A vast majority are calling on the Biden administration to end the war between Israel and Hamas.
Will you support the Democratic ticket if they don't make the change or meet the demand?
I cannot vote for somebody who continues the genocide. I will not vote for it.
People don't like career politicians.
Republicans will also be watching Harris as Senator Ron Johnson continues to demand she take questions from the media regarding policy issues. Johnson spoke to us in Chicago.
Unless the media demands it, she won't. She can't. I mean, you've seen the couple times when she's gone off teleprompter, it's just word salad after word salad. It makes no sense whatsoever. Like her economic policies will make no sense whatsoever. They'll be very destructive.
However, the governor says it's Harris who has the momentum and not Donald Trump.
I don't have a lot of respect for her.
People are fired up. Clearly, they understand it's going to be a close race in Wisconsin.
You might also remember those cheeseheads the Wisconsin delegation wore on Tuesday night. Coming up at 6, I'll tell you about what delegate is doing with his to make it a very special souvenir. Reporting live in Chicago at the DNC, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.